Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is John, and I'm part of the account management team here at Roadmap Consulting. Thank you so much for joining today's GSA Mass Comprehensive Proposal Support webinar. If you've been thinking about getting your company onto the GSA schedule, you're joining us at exactly the right moment. The federal fiscal year ends September 30, and we're now in Q4, so the stretch where agencies spend an outsized share of their annual budgets, awarding contracts, issuing task orders, and closing out funding before the reset. Companies that are on the GSA schedule are visible during this window. Companies that are not simply are not in the conversation. So this is actually our second webinar of the month. Some of you may have joined us on July 9th for our Oasis Plus session, where we walk through qualification readiness for that contract vehicle. And today we are focusing to GSA Mass. So if you're pursuing both vehicles, these two sessions pair well together. So a few quick housekeeping before we begin. This will be approximately a 30-minute presentation, followed by live Q&A all within the hour. Please drop any questions into the chat box as we go. We'll address them in an orderly fashion during the Q&A so nothing gets missed. This webinar is being recorded and will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. We'll share links to all of our social media platforms shortly before we wrap up. And right after the presentation, you're welcome to schedule a free consultation with our speaker. We'll post that link in the chat as well. So we're going to give you the full picture, what GSA actually looks for in a proposal, how the rules recently changed, and what it takes to go from readiness to award. So with that, let me introduce our speaker. A brief introduction to our speaker and managing director. Michael Perch is the founder and owner of Roadmap Consulting and a subject matter expert in federal and state public procurement. He's a DC SBDC senior consultant, an adjunct professor at George Mason University, and a 10-year SCORE mentor in the DC chapter. Mike brings almost 30 years of experience in federal government contracting, program management, training, and curriculum development. Since 2009, Mike and RMC assisted over 300 firms in acquiring government-wide acquisition contracts and GSA Mass contracts through our Roadmap Consulting's GSA 360. And those awards have resulted in over $1 billion in task orders to RMC clients. So without further ado, I'm very privileged to introduce our managing director and speaker today, Michael Perch. Mike, over to you.
Okay, thanks so much, John. Thank you guys for joining us to talk for just a few minutes on how we assist companies here at Roadmap Consulting on getting into the onto the GSA multiple award schedule, as well as beyond getting onto the schedule, actually maintaining that schedule and then also using that schedule to generate revenue. So we kind of look at it as a full life cycle type of support that we provide, that basically takes you from not being on the schedule to being on the schedule and generating task orders through our marketing and capture management service. So we're going to go through all that very quickly. I'm going to leave plenty of time at the end for questions. We're going to try to keep it within 30 minutes. And certainly, as John mentioned, at the very end, if you guys would like to meet one-on-one with us to talk about your particular situation, we would love to find out more about your company and come up with a solution that is customized to your needs and assist you in terms of moving forward with getting onto the schedule and winning task orders. All right, so the title of the presentation is Win the Schedule and Then Win the Work, right? A lot of companies that we've dealt with in the past, may have been too focused on getting onto the schedule, but not getting onto the schedule strategically in order that the schedule could then generate revenue for them. And as you probably already know, if you're at all knowledgeable about the GSA schedule, you don't really win anything by acquiring the schedule. It's kind of like a hunting license that will then allow you to go out and market that schedule, market your services, your company's services, to the federal and state agencies. So the schedule is just the first step, but it's a very important step because the way you design the schedule, the way you engineer your schedule, will show up in how much work you're able to generate. So we spend a lot of time making sure that that happens. So first of all, just a little bit about our firm. We've been around, as John mentioned, for 17 years. We've done over 300 schedules in that time frame. We have five dedicated contracts managers, two of which are former GSA contracting officers. So we have a good, strong team of within our contracts group that does assist companies in getting through the process of getting onto the schedule. All of our activities are governed by our ISO 9000 certification, which in essence ensures for quality delivery of our service because we do stick to those procedures and project management tools that we use throughout the entire engagement to ensure that the process goes well. We're currently serving over 110 firms that do business with the government. Smallest one of our firms that we work with is a little less than 700K. Largest firm is an international firm doing over $2 billion in business. So we kind of cover the entire gamut of companies in terms of size, although we're highly skewed toward working with small and mid-sized companies. That's kind of our sweet spot. So, in terms of the GSA schedule, in case you don't know, the GSA multiple award schedule is a very popular contract vehicle that is utilized by contracting officers across the entire spectrum of the government. It is the buyer's guide of choice, as you see there in that first box. Last year, the GSA schedule accounted for over $53 billion in revenue, accounting or representing about 8% of the total budget spent by the government. That's a big number. 8% is a big number when compared with all the other vehicles, all the other pathways the government could use to facilitate relationships with the private sector. You will note that most of the large companies, most of the companies that do a tremendous amount of business with the government are on schedule, as well as being on other contract vehicles. So it is definitely a method that most companies use to kind of put themselves among those companies that are serious contenders to do business with the government. The schedule does allow you to sell to the government across the entire all agencies, both military and civilian, as well as being able to sell at the state and local level. You can also, through the cooperative purchasing arrangement that the schedule has, you can sell to local and state governments as well. It is also a very quick way if you have done business with the private sector in the past, you haven't done any federal government contracting. We have a number of companies that we've worked with that have gotten into the federal sector using the GSA schedule as a means of doing that. The past performance you have in the private sector can be utilized to justify the products and services that you'd like to put on your schedule, and therefore you are able to leverage the past work you've done to acquire your GSA schedule and begin to do business with the federal government. It is characterized by pre-negotiated pricing. You negotiate prices for your labor categories, your services, your products, pre-negotiated upfront, negotiated with GSA so that there's less time in terms of having to negotiate with the ordering agencies. So all of that positions you to do a lot of business, especially around this time of the year as we approach the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter, of course, starting October 1 going until December 31st. But the buying season for the government is at its height during the third quarter of the fiscal year. It is a 20-year contract consisting of a 5-year base period and 3 5-year options that you are able to obtain if you're performing at the level that GSA expects in terms of sales revenue for the 5-year period, as well as staying in compliance with all the terms and conditions that GSA has. So you have a total of 20 years to be on the schedule. And it does give you credibility and reach. Again, larger companies are on the schedule. The more well-organized companies with all their policies and procedures in place, things that the ordering agencies would expect you to have in place, essentially is taken care of as you go through the entire process of getting onto the schedule. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about how we structure our company to support you and getting onto the schedule. As I mentioned, it is a structured, disciplined process. It takes you from the kickoff meeting that we'll have with you at the very onset of our relationship with you, all the way to the contract award and beyond that to help you market and maintain your schedule as well. So we divided it into 5 phases essentially. That goes again from kickoff all the way through the actual administration of your schedule. Phase one being essentially the signing of the agreement, where we identify the scope of your work that you'd like us to do, how many labor categories, how many special item numbers, how many products, how many services. All that is identified in the proposal that we send to you. Our proposal is a fixed price proposal and is based upon level of effort. So an example where you have one company that has 3 SINs and 10 labor categories, that's going to be at one price, versus another company that has a half dozen SINs and 50 labor categories, that's going to be at a different price. So we'll customize the actual agreement to what your needs are, what your requirements are, and give you a fixed price based upon that. Phase two is where, after we've had the kickoff meeting and we've given you the request for information letter, phase two is now where you're providing the uploads of all the information that we need. Some people call it data calls. Basically, it's all the proposal content that we need to get in order to prepare the proposal pieces to submit the offer. So that's phase two. Phase three is where we assemble your proposal. The administrative cost, pricing, and technical volumes will be assembled and submitted through the GSA e-offer platform. And after phase three is completed, then it's a waiting game until the GSA contract specialist is able to get to your particular e-offer and analyze it. Typically, what will happen after that is they'll send out a letter of clarifications on some of the information that we presented. We'll respond back very quickly to that letter and then get negotiations scheduled. When negotiations are scheduled, we spend a lot of time with you because you're about to sign up to a potential 20-year contract. So we don't want you to basically give away too much. So we'll spend a lot of time with you negotiating, essentially going through the negotiations of your pricing, your terms and conditions, your payment terms, your volume discounts, all those things. And we'll give you our best advice as we approach the GSA contracting officer as to how to best negotiate your contract to make sure that your margins are where they should be, to make sure you're happy with the awards that you get from the task orders. And then phase five is where we maintain your contract for you. We'll do the actual upkeep to your GSA e-offer price list. I'm sorry, your GSA price list that is published on GSA e-library. We'll do all the modifications to add to your GSA schedule. We'll also, of course, do all the TDR sales reporting on a monthly basis and provide you with overall maintenance of your schedule to keep you in good standing with your GSA contracting officer. So it all starts with the request for information letter. Again, that's where we get all the information from you based upon the requirement that you have to put on labor categories, service, products, and so forth. So we'll go through that entire list in a very easy to understand letter that we'll submit to you. We'll set you up on our OneHub platform, which is what you see here. It's a secured collaborative workspace that we'll be able to exchange information back and forth. It keeps record of everything that goes on the platform. The folders that are on the OneHub platform are in conformity with all of the numbers that are indicated on your request for information letter. So it's very easy to kind of follow along as far as the information we need to get from you. We'll also provide you with templates, examples of other successful uploads that we have done with GSA. And of course, we'll meet with you on a weekly basis to discuss the progress that you're making. The whole idea is to make sure that you're comfortable in providing us with the necessary information we need in order to submit your proposal. Internally, we have a checklist consisting of 192 internal checklist items, which is updated according to the most recent refresh that GSA puts out. And we make sure that this is all done internally, but we make sure that when we do submit your proposal, that is a fully compliant proposal that GSA will look at and review and give us a favorable outcome to it. We won't bore you with all the details of the internal checklist, but what we will give you is a summarized weekly, what we call progress report, which will give you a very quick indication as to how quickly or how much you've actually accomplished in terms of submitting all the information we need. So color code it for a very quick glance. Green meaning we've gotten the information and it's fully compliant and there's no additional action needed from you. Yellow indicating that we've reviewed it and there's some more information we need to get or we need to modify the information you provided. And then orange indicating we haven't gotten it yet. And we'll have this report ready for you on a weekly basis. We'll review all the information you download to our OneHub site and give you an update so that you're never in the dark as far as where you are in the process. And the idea is to turn that entire progress report from orange to green, and then we're off to the races as far as submitting your proposal. In terms of the pricing, as I mentioned earlier, it's all based upon the level of effort, the number of SINs, special item numbers you'd want to put onto your schedule, the number of labor categories, products, whatever it might be. So again, we would welcome you to sit down with us over a 15-minute free consultation to discuss your particular needs. John and the account management team will put together a fixed price quote based upon that and get that over to you. We also have flexible payment terms in case you want to spread the payment out over a period of time. We can accommodate you there as well. So after you're on schedule now, the idea is to maintain your schedule. We also offer what we call our contract administration and compliance service, and that's where now you have your schedule. Your catalog is published on GSA eLibrary. You're getting GSA eBuy requests in on a daily basis. You're fully whole and complete as a GSA schedule holder. So what we do with our CAC service, our contract administration and compliance service, is we keep you whole and complete. We make sure that all of your terms and conditions are being met, the terms and conditions that you negotiated on your schedule, make sure that they're all being met. We do all the sales reporting for you, take care of all the mass modifications, essentially all the compliance needed in order to make your company audit ready. And that is the key. You always want to be audit ready. You will get audited within the first 5 years of your contract. And so the CAC service basically is your safeguard against being kicked off of the schedule because you did not stay in compliance. The way that we report that to you is on a quarterly basis. We'll give you a quarterly status update report, which lists all the things that have happened since you first acquired your schedule. We'll keep that up to date. We'll check off all the boxes as far as all the audit elements that GSA will look at when they do come in. So you are 100% audit ready at any point in time. So that's CAC. The last component we'll talk about today is our marketing and capture management service. We have a dynamite marketing and capture management group that does three things for you if you were to hire us. We identify opportunities, contract opportunities, not only on your GSA schedule, but throughout the entire federal government landscape, as well as throughout the entire state and local government landscape. So the MCM service is not just to support your GSA schedule, although it does do that. It also drives revenue across federal, state, and local jurisdictions. So we identify the opportunities, we scour the earth to find the opportunities based upon the indication that you give us as far as the types of projects you're interested in going after. Okay, we have a very extensive onboarding process so that we're 100% certain as to what you guys would like to see happen in terms of us finding those opportunities for you. Once we find them, then we'll bring them to your attention on a weekly basis. We'll summarize the opportunity in a bid summary, 1 or 2 page document, present that to you, and give you an opportunity to tell us what you think as far as whether you want to pursue it or not. If you do want to pursue it, then we will move on to then preparing your proposal, giving you a proposal compliance matrix that responds to the actual RFP or RFQ or RFI. and then we'll move forward in terms of assembling your proposal, of course, with collaboration from you. So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell, those three phases, but it all breaks down to other areas as well. We help bring to the table strategic teaming partners. If you need a teaming partner to fulfill the actual requirements of a particular opportunity, we've done that. We'll also target agencies based upon the actual onboarding process that you indicate where you'd like to see most of your work end up. We will do that. And then, of course, we'll give you a weekly pipeline update of all the opportunities that we've identified for you and the point in which we're assembling the proposal and submitting the proposal to the agency. So it's a turnkey operation, a turnkey solution to outsourcing your proposal management, your proposal writing, your capture management, opportunity identification, all that in a nutshell for a fixed price each month. Um, and the fixed price is only a 30-day engagement. You can stop it at any time. There's no long-term commitment that we ask for. Basically, if you're not happy with our service, you don't want to stop, you can stop at any point in time. So it's fully flexible, easy to work with us. And we also offer, I should mention, we also offer a 30-day free trial if you should engage with us in our comprehensive proposal support. We will give you 30 days basically to test us out if you would like to do that. So, again, how do we support you? Across the board, from cradle to grave. We help you acquire your schedule through our comprehensive proposal support service. We make sure that everything is done correctly, and when we submit and negotiate your schedule, you're happy with the result. And then we help you to maintain the schedule using our contract administration and compliance service, keep it in good standing, keeping you up to date, expanding your schedule, adding more services as you go along. And then we also help you to grow your business by utilizing our marketing and capture management service, turning your GSA schedule into a revenue engine. That's the idea. Winning task orders. You're not on schedule for any other reason other than to win task orders. So from the actual contract award through the growth cycle, that's how we accommodate working with our companies that we represent. If you are interested, again, I would ask you to book a consultation with me and one of our account managers, maybe one of our contracts managers, to talk about your specific goals and objectives. And beyond that, we can put together a proposal that meets your needs. If you're happy with that, then we forward you an agreement for services, execute that, schedule the kickoff meeting, and then move on to the weekly updates as we go through the actual process of getting you onto the schedule. That's it. That's all I got. Love to talk with each one of you. Love helping small businesses, large businesses, medium-sized businesses to grow. We have a lot of fun here at RMC and what we do. We would welcome you to join us and participate in helping to grow your company and expand and that sort of thing. Give us a try. I think you'll like us. Okay. All right, John, back over to you.
Thank you so much, Mike. And yeah, everyone, feel free to drop your questions in the chat, and we'll get to as many as we can. As mentioned, we've been posting the link to schedule your free consultation, along with the other links to our social media platforms. So please follow us to stay updated on our upcoming events and webinars. And yeah,
One other thing to mention that I did not address, the typical time frame of getting onto the schedule, everyone wants to know that, is lengthened over the past year because GSA has become more of a focal point based upon the current administration. A lot more companies, oh, excuse me, a lot more agencies now are migrating to using GSA as a buyer of choice. And so one of the main contract vehicles within the GSA agency is the multiple award schedule. So a lot more people are getting on schedule. Total number of companies on schedule right now, close to 15,000. And so what that's done is it's kind of lengthened the amount of time it takes to get on schedule based upon the caseload of all the contracts managers that or contract analysts that work on the schedules on the government side. So typically we tell clients anywhere between 4 and 9 months now, whereas it used to be 3 to 6. It's now more like 4 to 9 months as far as the time frame. Of course, a lot of that has to do with how quickly you can get us the information, um, and we can submit the offer. That can sometimes be that can condense the schedule, but typically 4 to 9 months is what we're seeing now in terms of the time frame of getting you onto the schedule.
Thank you, Mike. So yeah, we have a question here from Kenton Harrell. What have been the top three services your clients have been winning awards on?
I'm sorry, repeat that again.
What have been the top three services your clients have been winning awards on?
Top three services. Probably, definitely, SIN 54151S, professional IT services. That's the biggest. It's not the biggest. It's one of the top three sins in terms of activity on the part of the federal government. Professional IT services, as you could well imagine, in high demand within the private sector. I think second on the list would be 541611, which is program and project and financial management, a big catch-all special item number for a lot of federal contracting activity. That's a big one. And then if I had to guess beyond that, it would probably be facilities management um, and um, and maybe software engineering would be the next one. I don't know. Alex, what are your thoughts on that? Did I hit the top three, or what are your thoughts? Alex is one of our senior contracts managers.
Yeah,
As
those
is
were the
Pam. And
top
Pam, I'm
three.
sorry, Pam, I just saw you on there too. What do you guys think?
54151S or the IT sin is one of the sin that is on top in terms of sales in the past few years in the federal space.
Okay, yeah, that's my guess as well. But yeah, 54151S professional IT services is probably at the head of all the sins in terms of activity, followed by 541611 program project and financial management would be second,
Yeah,
if I had to guess.
yeah, 541611 from last year. Um, Pretty much total value of awards is $1.7 billion from fiscal year of 2025, Mike,
Yeah,
for that specific sin alone.
yeah.
Another question here from Nicole Jackson. My company is 2 years old without past performance. How would you market IT services?
So GSA does have a program called Springboard. If you want to schedule a consultation with you, we can get you some more information on that program. But Springboard is designed for companies that don't have company past performance, but the principles of the company are rich in terms of their past performance, right? They're, individuals that have been in their line of work for a number of years, decades, if you will. And GSA does allow you to substitute your own personal experience as a principal of the company for the past performance of the company itself, as well as utilizing your personal financial status in place of the 2 years of financial statements that are usually required by GSA. So I would advise you to schedule a consultation with us and let us talk to you about the Springboard program and see if that's a good fit for where you are in terms of where your company is at this point.
Thank you,
Again,
Mike.
it's called the GSA Springboard program.
All right, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it for our questions. So, again, we are posting our links, especially the consultation or calendar link where you can schedule a free consultation with us. And we'll be also sending you follow-up emails with the recording of this webinar. And yeah, thank you so
Yeah,
much for.
looks like we got a ton of people that have scheduled, so that's great. Looking forward to talking with you. Thank you for scheduling with us. Look forward to discussing all the companies that have not. Please do. And we'll have our 15-minute free consultation with you and see if we can be of assistance in helping you.
All right, so Yeah, once again, we appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you at our, next webinar. Have a great day, everyone.
Take care, everyone.